Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now, I have been getting a ton of questions about Solana recently. Of course, you guys know we've been covering this thing multiple times a week for the last 2 years straight when most people gave up on it. And so because of that, people are kind of questioning our opinion on what we think is happening now. Now, a question that we've been getting an absolute shit ton is whether or not I believe it's too late to be buying Solana right now. And so I'm going to try my best to answer that as quickly as possible in today's video so you can get back to your Christmas festivities. And also, stop trying to run from the holiday robe. But with that said, let's start to answer this question and let's break it down. Now, I believe that the answer to this question is binary. I believe that the answer to this question can be broken down into two different sets of answers depending on the way you're looking at Solana. Perspective number one is in the short term. Okay, in the short term, is it too late to be buying Solana? And what I will say is that although I don't believe it's too late in the sense that it can't continue upwards another 20, 30, 40%, I do believe if you're looking for a 3, 4, 5x on Solana, it's definitely too late, right? I don't believe in the next few weeks or maybe even the next month or two that Solana is going to go to $500, $600. I don't think that's going to happen. It will likely take more time. And so, yeah, if that's what you're looking for in the short term, there were better buying opportunities in the past, right? I mean, look what we posted 5 months ago. I'm actually going to cue this video real quick and play it. This is what we talked about 5 months ago. This was the better time to be looking for 2 to 5x on Solana back then. Before that macro downtrend, which was then followed by this descending structure with the fake out to the downside, with the breakout to the upside, which very well could indicate or implicate that we are going to go into some type of more macro move to the upside over the long term. So what I was basically saying was, look, we just were in this downtrend. We broke the downtrend. We cleared a key level of resistance. Now we're in a situation in which towards the end of the year, we can make a move, maybe 3, 4, 5x towards the upside, right? Those days are behind us, right? We're very far away from that breakout. And so because of that, because we're so extended to the top side, I do believe in the short term, your likelihood of seeing more and more and more substantial gains is becoming less and less and less and less. Now, does that mean that you shouldn't buy Solana for short-term gains? No. Like I said, it could easily still go to $150 to $170. I do think that's possible. But again, it's not going to 3, 4, 5x. Personally, I would be looking for other opportunities right now. Again, we're talking about option one. If you are looking for short-term gains, I just think that there's better options. Now, you guys know this week we are launching HG Access, in which we're providing a shit ton of behind-the-scenes information that's already generated over 500% gains. So make sure you stay tuned for that because it's going to be like 20 influencers all contributing. But with that in mind, obviously, like I said, I think there's just better options in the short term. Now, with that said, let's talk about option number two. Okay. Option number two is the long term. In the long term, I think Solana is still a surefire deal, right? I think that $100, $200, I still think that's a steal for Solana. The reason being is because, like I said in November of last year, December of last year, January of this year, February, March, April, like I've said consistently the entire year, Solana is a 10 times better ecosystem right now than it was in 2021 at its all-time high. I will stand by that because I genuinely do believe it. Is the tech 10 times better? No, maybe not, right? But the overall ecosystem, the tech itself, and all of the community as a whole, I would say is substantially better, and I would say is justifiable and to the point that it could get substantially higher than its previous all-time high. And so considering that, if you watched my last video, you know my lower price target is $669 and my higher price target is $2,239 over the long term. Getting this thing at $100, that's still a possible 6x up to a possible 20x from here. And so clearly, and you looking at it from that perspective, no, it's by a far not too late. So as I mentioned before, the answer to that question isn't as simple as some would hope it would be. And like I said, I do believe it's binary. If you're looking at this thing in the short term, I do believe that the likelihood of massive gains is behind us. And yeah, it's probably a little bit too late. I would be probably looking for a more of a pullback before getting in substantially, expecting a 2, 3, 4x from here, right? But if you are looking at this thing from a long-term perspective, if you're looking at this from a macro cycle perspective, I do believe this is still early for Solana, and it quite easily could still 6 to 20x from here. So I hope that kind of answers your question. I will, of course, continuously update you guys multiple times a week like we have been for the last 2 years straight. So, of course, I hope you guys do subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy this content, and, well, I'll see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.